This is Madia-as Digdigan Buenaflor, extending an invitation to each and every one of you everywhere, as my way of commemorating the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. I will read and serialize my novel, The Blood of Three, starting on Tuesday, August 27, and continuing episodes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Follow the drama on my YouTube channel. May we forever exhale and inhale love and peace. Ernesto had successfully passed through the throng who mobbed him at the gate. He was not running through the surging crowd, craning his neck for a glimpse of a face in the crowd, the only face at the moment that he longed to see. All he ever wanted to see was Joybell. He had so much to say, to thank her for what she had done for the movement, and to tell her how much he missed her, and longed for her, and loved her. Then he thought once again of Mr. Miura. He had so much to tell him too, 1,000 thank yous for his invaluable help, a great sacrifice in his part, to thank him and apologize for his intrusion into the peace and quiet of his family, but to reassure him that his intentions were pure and sincere and true. Ernest's call for Joybell was drowned out by all the rejoicing, and after a futile search through the crowd, leaving him hoarse from screaming her name, he decided Joybell and Mr. Miura must have preferred to wait for him at their home. So losing no time, he negotiated the distance from the garrison to the Miura home in the fastest record time ever done by anyone. He must have broken all speed record, for when the heart willed it, all systems went. No obstacle could stop it. Taking the stairs all in one giant stride, he called out with all the love in his heart, "Headmaster, Joybell, sweetheart, I'm here. I'm back. I've come home. We have won. We are free. Come and see for yourself." Ernesto was practically shouting at the top of his lungs. Hearing no response, Ernesto knocked at the closed door with uncontrollable excitement, his face glowing with great anticipation of seeing Joybell again. "Joybell, my love, open the door. It's me, Ernesto." Still, there was neither an answer nor movement. Not able to wait any longer, he pushed the door open, only to be met by a total darkness. Anxiety could have crossed his mind, but he was too overjoyed to entertain anything remotely near it. He figured she must be at the hill, perhaps with their father, Mr. Miura, sharing the good news with Lota. Who else to share such a profound event than with the woman they both adored? And then the soft whisper came like a flash in his mind. She was at the hill waiting for him, the hill where he found her, the hill where they're united after so many years. She must be there waiting for him, for the most precious moment of their lives. "Joybell, here I come," he screamed out like a child, and jumped down the stairs. Like a gust of wind at dawn, Ernesto flew through the winding trail amidst the most verdant greens of the field, gloriously highlighted by the lingering full moon. A marvelous vision was beckoning him, the two of them up there overlooking this whole fascinating, magical, wonderful, challenging world of offering him a promising beginning. Ernesto found himself floating on air, with only his heart guiding him to the hill. So great was his excitement that even the tree on the hilltop and the clouds above became nothing but hazy mist. Glowing with exuberance, Ernesto dashed up the hill, and everything whirled into a blur. Once Ernesto reached the top of the hill, the world stopped so abruptly, so suddenly. He staggered, his mind in a dizzying spin, as if looking down into a bottomless vacuum. No air, just nothingness, a blank, not white blank, dark, ebony, black blank. He was beyond shock, beyond disbelief, beyond stand, even beyond unfeeling. He was completely numbed, cold, frozen, hardened, stiff numbed. Was this what death felt? He did not think of asking himself, but the question was before him in bold letters. He knew he died in a wink of that moment. He knew, not just aware, knew he died. As his consciousness thinned before him, he did not even grasp for it. He did not want to hold on to it, for it was more merciful to let go. Let the last thread of consciousness just snap, break, and let go. Down, down, far down into the chasm he could not go. We could not see. That abyss that could be welcoming when the eyes and the mind fathomed nothingness. How fast and how quick a beautiful dream could die. How sudden, how final things could change. How the world could turn ugly and the dream vanish. Where did he go? In the split of a moment, of no time. Where was he? He did not want to be anywhere. He felt. Yes, he could feel himself. Saw himself reduced in an iota of dust, a speck of dust, floating before him, lost in space, and the dust exploded into nothingness and vanished, gone. When the whirling blur tightened and focused into a form, a shape, he touched earth. He found himself standing wobbly, unsteadily, but standing on the top of the hill before Joybell, before a name carved on the wood, a white wood, a wood shaped into a cross. Joybell in letters so artistically carved, only the hands of one with the heart of a true, pure, loving artist would have carved. A dart, 2 darts, a dozen darts, 100, 1,000. Myriad darts pierced Ernesto's heart again and again and again. The pain exponentially sharp, sharper, sharpest. The most agonizing and powerful scream of the sharpest pain erupted, searching far and high, breaking the clouds into a turmoil of indistinguishable shapes, and the pieces disappeared into oblivion. Ernesto fell to his knees, his body crumpled, hugging the white cross. His scream reduced into sobs, choked so deep no sound could be heard. His body shook convulsively. He longed to encircle Georgia in his arms. It hurt. He hugged her. He hugged the white cross and looked up to the heavens, so high and so far away he would not reach it. How cruel could the world be to him and to Joybell? Unkind to the people so in love. But Ernesto's mind was too numb to comprehend what fate had dealt them. His heart too ill to accept the sin before him. Time passed. Ernesto had not kept track of it. But in the in-between of that time, he experienced the most magical and amazing feeling. He had Joybell in his arm, the beautiful, enchanting, mesmerizing Joybell. She welcomed him with her love so giving, so unselfish there was nothing left to ask for. She gave him her all. How beautiful their love was. Their love endured all. It was eternal, everlasting, forever alive, in their hearts, in their minds, in their souls, for eternity. The smile lingered. It was still there on Ernesto's lips. The smile left there by the warmth of Joybell's kiss. He will always keep it there for the world to see, to share, to spread out. Their love did well, very well indeed. And so Ernesto opened his eyes, the smile still on his lips. The tears have dried up. He was caressing the white cross that bore Joybell's name. Joybell had accomplished the job he had asked her to do for the guerrillas. She did it successfully. And not because he asked her, but because he wanted to do her part for peace, the subject closest to her mother Lota, and to her beloved father, Mr. Miura. They had adhered to their strong convictions and allowed it to guide them through the needs of times, and they stood by it to the end. Now that the world cleared once again, his eyes was able to see what was before him, a poignant sin, a most tender and touching sight. It was only then that Ernesto noticed what lay before him. It was Mr. Shiro Miura, his body cold and lifeless, silent and still, his two outstretched arms hugging the two adjacent graves of his wife and his daughter. His bloody fingers had left their marks on both Lota and Joybell's white crosses when he clutched on tightly until life left every fiber of his being and drained him of the strength to hold on. Not now the blood had dried, but his marks remained as his love could stay with him forever beyond death. For the Miuras knew no goodbyes. Mr. Miura's last moment of consciousness was his most elegant expression of his love and devotion to the two people he treasured in his life. Ernesto could only stare down at this admirable Japanese with an impeccable heart of gold and a truly enduring and boundless love for his wife and daughter, and an innate passion for peace and brotherhood among men. As Ernesto stood on that hill, he could see the Filipino and American flags proudly waving over the bastion, the reveille from the bugle echoing through the air, floated above the din of the cheering of the freed civilians and released prisoners. And as he looked farther to the sea, he could see the horizon backdraft the parade, the American fleet speeding towards the beaches of Lingayen. A smile appeared on Ernesto's lips, only to quickly disappear, for even the prospect of the forthcoming peace no longer held much meaning for him. All he could feel was utter emptiness. As he moved his eyes from the horizon to the two white crosses and to the rigid cold body of Mr. Miura, just emptiness and nothing else. What has war done to them was all that Ernesto could think of. And what can victory offer me now? We had no answers to both, just the drops of tears on the hardened face of this lonely war survivor. Epilogue. The smoke of war had long gone. It now remains just a memory, and to some, a nightmare. Peace now reigns, and if transient eyes would happen to look up from where the garrison once stood, this would see the hill. It still is there, that hill, with three white crosses, time-dulled, weather-beaten, standing defiantly against the elements, marking the graves of three people, three different races, a living and timeless testimonial of the greatness of love, the emptiness and high cost of victory, and the futility of war. And the survivors live on, hoping, wishing, praying that man would finally learn its lesson so that their children and their children's children and all the coming generations will not go through the horrors of their nightmares. Fervently, they pray and will continue to pray that the universe may live in harmony, brotherhood, peace, and love. Thanks for being with me today. I hope you will inspire me with a like, share, and subscribe.